Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little personal because it is going to be about the 5 money tips I wish I knew in my early 20s. So with that being said, let's get straight on into the video. Alright, the first thing I wish I knew in my early 20s was to save my money even though I wasn't making a lot. Saving your money can help you out with less stress. It can help you out with fixing certain things right away. Not living off paycheck to paycheck like I was. I was living off paycheck to paycheck. I wasn't able to fix any of my cars. I wasn't even able to put gas in half the time. I would have to like bum rides off people because I didn't have enough money for gas because I blew all my money on partying, clothes, shoes, makeup. So yes, I was very naive, very young back then. I had no guidance. The people I was hanging out with were even worse. So I say this all the time. If I would have had the mentality that I have right now when I was 20, I think I would be in like a different position. I think I would have already owned at least 3 to 4 houses. But again, we live and we learn. I have a story to tell. I mean, my channel is based on most of the mistakes that I've made. Needless to say, everything does happen for a reason. But I do wish that I would have at least tried to save each month. I mean, I didn't even try at all. I had a bank basically for nothing to overdraft. Another thing I wish I knew back then was to not open store credit cards. So I was always peer pressured by the people that I was hanging around. Again, when I was 20, 21, I didn't know myself at all. So therefore, they kind of peer pressured me into getting store credit cards, such as Victoria's Secret, Kohl's. The problem with store credit cards is there's no benefits whatsoever. There's no cash back on every purchase. There is a high interest rate. It makes your credit score go up, but barely, like maybe like 1 point a month, not even. I would say if you are looking for a credit card and you have like a list where you want to boost your credit, you want cash back, you want a lower interest rate, don't go to Victoria's Secret credit cards. Don't get Target credit cards. Do not get Kohl's, Marshall's, TJ Maxx. The only cash back you're gonna get is for that store. So you're basically spending money, buying things there, and then you're getting money back to buy more things from there. It's such a huge scam, to be honest with you guys. And I dealt with this the hard way. I had my Kohl's credit card. I got that because all the girls at my old job were like, oh my god, you can get cash back and it's technically like free. It was not really free. Like if they really read into the paperwork of like the whole cash back Kohl's thing, it's not free because you have to spend a certain amount of money to get a certain amount of money back. And that money you get back, you gotta spend it into the store. So Kohl's isn't losing out at all. And you're not gaining anything but a bunch of junk in your house. If you do not use these store credit cards constantly, they will close out on you and make your credit score go down. Crazy, right? They make your credit score go up like 1 to 2 points, but when you don't use them and they decide to close them on you, your credit score can go down to like 20 to 30 points. So I'm happy that I know this now, so when I do have kids, I can let them know. And also, if you see someone signing up for a store credit card, well, not a stranger because you don't want to talk like you're preaching, but a family member, if they are trying to sign up for a store credit card, maybe lean them in towards the real credit card world so they can benefit more from that rather than just buying more junk at other stores. Just a little tip. I know it's not for everybody. Everyone has to live and learn for themselves. But damn, I wish I had better guidance when it came to the credit card issue. Another thing I wish I would have known, which would have saved me a whole lot of money, was do not sign anything you do not understand. I have signed countless documents that I skimmed through and realized like, all right, I do not understand any of these big words. I'm just gonna sign my name and no one's gonna know that I didn't know what it said. Well, the problem with this is the fact that I got screwed over bad. And this came into place when I signed my name on that dotted line with my old Cadillac and didn't realize that there was a lot of things wrong with that paperwork. For instance, if I couldn't afford the car anymore, I would want to bring it back, and which I did bring it back, but they charged me $800 to bring that vehicle back. And I was like, wait, I just paid my payments, which was $600 a month, and they want $800 for me bringing it back? That was in the paperwork that I signed, so of course I had to pay that $800. If I would have taken the time to read through that paperwork thoroughly and not feel rushed and not feel like, all right, what does this word mean? I probably would have backed out of that vehicle in general. So yeah, another paperwork that I signed and I wish I knew better was my student loan. It was a trade school. It was a 9-month program. And the thing with this paperwork was that it said if you do not complete the schooling and you decide to quit, you would have to pay the $15,000 regardless if you quit or if you stay. I did quit and I had to pay that money back, every dime of it, and it took me years and years to pay it back. But again, if I would have took the time to read through that paperwork, I probably would have saved myself $15,000 because I would have gotten scared to be like, all right, Kira, you're very young right now. You're unsure what you want to do with your life. Do you really want to spend $15,000 right now, or do you want to wait? I wish I would have known, like, I can take my time to read certain documents. No one's there to rush me, and if they are rushing me, then maybe me signing that document is not for me. Because once when you sign your name, you're accountable for everything that is on that piece of paper. Regardless if it says you have to pay $100,000 by next year, if you signed it, then you have to pay it. And you have to do everything that that paperwork says, which sucks. Next thing I wish I would have known was to learn how to invest my money instead of spending my money. I think this is the case with everybody in their early 20s, where you spend your money on, you know, partying, going for rides, you know, spending your money on gas all the time. I know there comes like a point in your life where you have to have fun. I totally get that. Again, it all starts with guidance. I think our children are going to grow up with a lot more guidance rather than us making mistakes constantly. And that is something that I'm really thankful for, because I learned it now instead of me learning it in my late 50s or 60s. You know what I'm saying? When it's kind of like, all right, you've already had kids and now they're making the same mistakes you've made because you didn't teach them. And I totally get that kids are going to do their own thing regardless of what you teach them. But I wish there was some kind of like bug in my ear where it's like, Kira, do you really want to go out tonight? You went out the other night and the night before. Maybe you should save that money. But of course, you know, my mom was doing her own thing at the time, so I didn't have that guidance. And I am grateful that I kind of learned on my own. Obviously, I have to thank you too, because I watched countless videos of people learning how to invest their money, and I am self-taught when it comes to savings and stuff now, because again, there was nobody around me to teach me that. So long story short, I wish I would have invested at least half of my money back then, and I wish I would have invested it maybe in like lower risk index funds, or even like some stocks. I do have 5 stocks right now. If I would have been investing since I was like 20, like Graham Stephan, I probably will be at his level right now. That would be such a huge accomplishment. I'm not talking down on where I am right now. Obviously, I have learned a lot, and my channel is built on what I have learned. I'm happy to say that I do have stories to tell of all the dumb crap I did when I was younger. But I wish I would have made at least like 2 or like 3 smart decisions back then. And the last thing I wish I would have known back in my early 20s, I wish I would have learned how to budget my money. I was a huge spender back then, so when I got my checks, I would just blow it on anything. We would go out to eat, we would go, you know, buy clothes and, you know, just silly things. Yeah, if I was just to learn how to budget my money, I would have had a lot less stress. So I think out of this like whole list, I would have benefited the most from learning how to budget. The minute you learn how to budget, you can't forget it. It's like riding a bike, and I wish I would have learned that back then, because again, I probably would have a lot more money saved. And I'm not that kind of person where I want a bunch of money in my savings account. That's not me at all. I'm that kind of person where it's like, all right, the more money we have, the more investments we can make. So like I said, I will be hopefully getting my first investment property next year. I plan on getting like one tenant. I'm looking for a duplex house or maybe an apartment where it's like the basement's fixed and I can rent it out, where I can pay half the mortgage, you know, be smart like that. And I think if I would have learned how to budget back then, I probably would have been a landlord to a couple properties already by now, because I would have known like where my money is going and where my money really should be going. So, but anyways, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you do not make the same mistakes as me. So if you are in your early 20s and you are watching this, please just take at least 2 to 3 things off this list and try to do the right thing, because next year I will be 30, and with me looking back like this, I just like want to kick myself in the butt. Like, damn it, Kara, you could have owned a couple properties by now, or you could have had a decent house by now for yourself. So I always say this, and I'm gonna keep saying it because I wish someone said it to me, and that is to learn from my mistakes. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.